Podcast. This is live with Miami's Community News, and I'm Michael Miller. We have a special guest, and you're going to want to hear about it because you're going to figure out how to take care of your computers. Bob Feltman, president of All American Solutions.
Correct. Good afternoon.
All right. Thanks for being here. Everybody in the world from this age up is using some sort of computer, whether it's in their hand or some big monster computers. In the old days, we remember that you really took a huge computer. What caused you to get into the computer repair business? And at the time you probably were thinking about it, computers had to be about this big Radio Shack, something or other. Right. You're nodding your head going, yes.
Right.
So how and why did you get into this business?
Well, for a few reasons. One, I've been doing this since the early 80s. So I've had decades in computers themselves, Windows and Mac, different network operating systems, transport protocols for the internet. I had been in the technical side of this business forever. I retired, I got bored, and I had a computer like all of us do, and I got tired of being jerked around when I tried to get it fixed. And I said to myself, I can do this better. I can make this better. And most of the repairs then were offshore. And you didn't know who you were dealing with, and you certainly didn't know who you could trust. So that's what started me in this business. And we are a very unique computer repair company, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, our repairs are a fixed price. So it's posted on our website, and you know it'll be $99. We're going to talk to you on the phone, find out what's wrong, determine that it's not hardware. You're not going to get hardware fixed for $99, and then proceed with the repair. That's very unusual. Today, most often, you go to somebody to get your computer repaired that starts at $99. And, oh, we found this. That's another $40. And we found this. Before he's done with you, it's $200. That's where they want to be.
So what percentage of repairs that you make are you able to do on the phone, on the computer?
All.
So the guy that's on the computer,
right,
whether it's operator error or it's not plugged in, you're able to take care of that without people bringing a computer to a place.
Correct. So this is the big difference. So I want to get into that as the second issue. No, actually the third issue, but that's okay. It's called remote access computer repair. And what that means is that if you're working on some documents and it's 1 p.m. and your computer's malfunctioning, and you call us on the phone, with your permission, in 3 minutes, I'm in the computer, in an hour, I'm done, and it will work perfectly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And certainly for most people, the frustration of not having the computer perform.
It's terribly frustrating. Yes. We all deal with it from time to time, myself included.
From time to time.
I get to fix my own. But so let me say this now. It's important to know that we have a fixed price. We do all of this remotely, but one of the reasons it makes us unique is we also have a money-back guarantee. And it states on our website, if we cannot fix your computer for the problems stated when you called us, the repair is free. So we're very careful when we talk to you on the phone. We need to ascertain it's not hardware. We'll ask 3-4 questions. You'll tell us what's wrong with it. We'll ask 3 or 4 questions. We'll know that we're going to get into that software and fix it.
So I know years ago, somebody, actually it was a phone guy who used to fix our phones. And he said, Michael, we call him up and we go, the phones aren't working. He said, well, when did this start? 2 o'clock. Well, what did you do right before that? Oh, we moved the desk. He went to the desk and it was pulled out of the wall. So often with computers, I ask the staff, is the computer on? So you're laughing because you must ask people that all the time.
We ask some very direct questions that enable us to ascertain that we're going to be able to repair it or not going to be able to repair it. If we're not going to be able to repair it, we don't go into the repair because we have a money-back guarantee. That would bite ourselves in the foot.
And so often people are embarrassed about it. Hey, the computer's not working, and it was working fine an hour ago. And so how do you get people to tell the boss, hey, listen, my computer's not working. I don't know if it was me or whatever. What strategy does the boss use to convince the people, don't wait all day because you're not going to be able to work? So what is it you tell the boss when you speak to them about how to get staff to?
I tell the boss the same thing I'm asking the prospective client. And I'm going to gently, as I'm speaking to you now, ask some questions. They're going to be disarming, but I'm going to know what happened. How long has this been going on? Is this occurring? Is that occurring? I'll put the pieces to the puzzle together very quickly. Within a few moments on the phone, we know whether we're going to take the call or not take it.
Because you do this all the time, and as soon as it's there, I know what's wrong.
Exactly right.
Frequently, somebody says, my printer's not working. I get, is your computer working? Yeah, light on. How about on that printer? Oh, no. I said, why don't you try that and see? You must deal with it all day long.
We do. And sometimes someone calls us for something silly like that, and we just tell them what to do, and they can hang up the call. There's no charge for it. It would take 2 minutes of my time.
So a lot of times people are very concerned about privacy in their computers. How do people gain confidence in you to allow you into their computer?
Well, they have to make a decision. So here are the choices. You have 3 choices when you want to get your computer repaired. Drive, if you're in a city like this, in traffic, take it to a computer store. Pay them a diagnostic fee, which is probably $79, $89, and then wait a few days for them to tell you what's wrong with it and how much it will cost to fix. Or call someone and let them come into your home. And if you're a single female, that's probably not a great idea. And 3, call somebody like myself, listed on Google, lots of reviews. I know you, I'm here, and have faith that we will do for you what we've done for everybody else.
And tell us about the staff that repairs the computers.
All of our technicians are also U.S. military veterans. We run a really tight ship.
So we know a lot of people in service, they know yes, sir, no, sir, and being able to handle that whole process.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But more than that, they're disciplined in a way. They know that they have to go from step A, B, C, D, all the way to the end. And if they haven't finished it, the mission is not complete. It's a very important mindset for a technician to have, that they're not going to take a shortcut, jump over something, which later you'll call us in a week and say, well, this isn't working. Well, we'll charge you for that. No. What we do is comprehensive. So for our repair, we remove all viruses and malware. We optimize the computer, and we clean up the Windows registry. We do some other things that might make it speed up, which we don't have to go into in detail. They're boring to most people. But when we're done with that computer, it's going to run like it did when it was new. And that's a hell of a statement.
Because most people, ourselves included, it's running, so don't worry about it.
Right. I have clients like that.
And at some point, something gets full.
I had a client the other day at a luncheon tell me it's taking 20 minutes to boot. Well, I'd been talking about her to get her computer cleaned up a year ago. And I said, if it takes 20 minutes to reboot, and you keep doing this, you're going to lose the computer. I'm not going to be able to fix it for you. So decide what it is you want to do. That's just how some people are.
And typically, what have you found that's the hesitation for somebody to go that step and get it fixed? Is it money? Is it confidence? Is it security? Lack of knowledge?
I think it's all of them. And I think that when you see your computer slowing down and you have work to do, and it takes you a minute or 2 to open something up and it used to open right away, you've got to realize that your productivity is in the toilet. And by getting that repaired, where we optimize it during the repair, we don't just fix a malfunction, we optimize that computer so it runs really, really good. It's night and day. So sometimes it almost takes the experience with us for someone to go, whoa, I'm not going to wait that long again.
I think one of the things that happens as the computer's slowing down, we get used to it being slow until one day we go, oh, this is really slow. It depends on where that is. Right.
The client that told me it takes 20 minutes to boot, she knows she has a problem, and other people are like that with their computers, and there really is not much I can say to them.
Because they say, oh, it's fine, it just takes a while. Mm-hmm. So when you speak...
When it takes a while, it's going to come to a dead stop.
So how do you, when you're talking with people, how do you differentiate between a slow computer and slow internet speed?
Well, we do that. So we do that when we're in it. We do a speed test. We'll know what your internet speed is, who your service provider is, and all that kind of stuff. But by asking some questions, if I would ask them, are you able to access it on your phone? And they go, yeah. Does it come up quickly on your phone? Yeah. It's probably not the internet, because their phone's connected to the same wireless router that their computer is. I know these things. So a couple of intelligent questions really paint a picture for us. Inside of 90 seconds, we're going to know whether we can fix it and whether we want to take the call or not.
Oh, it sounds very familiar.
All of us have been in that boat from time to time.
And so one of the things, as you point out, once somebody can experience, oh, it's supposed to act like this. It's sort of like on your phone, right? Over a period of time, we jam it up with all this stuff. We go, this is just the speed. when it doesn't need to be that.
Correct. Absolutely does not need to be. That computer should run as good as it did when it was new.
So generally speaking, not anything specific though, when we get all this spam, and we think that it's like, oh, it's really Microsoft or it's really Zoom or it's really some other thing, and you look at it and you go, no, this is not right. Tell us about what people should be wary about.
I'm going to give you the answer to your question. This is a very, very important thing for people to realize if they want to protect themselves. When you get an email from somebody, PayPal, Zoom, whoever it is, you get them all the time, and they're phishing for you. Go and click on their email address, and you'll see it's some Gmail address, and you'll know it's no good. Throw it into junk. Junk means not just delete, but don't let it come back.
So when people say, oh, I got rid of it, I deleted it, I said, it's coming back in a week.
Sure will.
There'll be another one.
So if you put it into junk, you should be able to avoid that if it's coming from the same website, from the same email address. We don't know. I'll tell you, I'd be very suspicious if you ever open an email and it's got a link, nothing in it. You know, these are pictures from your phone. I get those. Yep. And you look in it and there's a blue link. Never, ever, ever click on it.
So tell us what might happen.
That link is an executable file, whether it's on your phone or whether it's on your computer.
What does that mean,
executable? An executable file. It means that when you open it, it's going to do something.
And it's immediate.
Oh, you've initiated it by clicking it. Yes, you've said go. And now you're in for trouble. So what these guys typically want to do is throw a virus on your computer and then buzz a phone number that you can call them at to fix it. Really, they're not nice guys. And then when you let them in, and if they're real smart, they'll change your password so you can't access your computer, they can. If they're really crooked, real crooked. I shouldn't say smart, that was the wrong word. So then what they're going to do is get in there and they're going to see if you have a bank connection, or they're going to want to refund money to that bank, and you're going to show it to them, and they're going to steal your money. That's the bottom line of what they're trying to do. They want to steal your money. So don't let these people in if you don't know them, ever. Don't click on a link that you don't know where it goes or who it's from, ever. And if you want to determine whether it's a valid email or a non-valid email, I'd say trust your gut. Your first instinct is that doesn't really look right. Click on that email address and you'll see if it's from PayPal. I'll bet you it's not.
And so often people are on Facebook, they send you a notice, which is we're gonna freeze your account. You have to do this. You have to do that.
I see those all the time too. It's the same scam. So what they want you to do there is to put in your email address and password.
And then you're stuck.
So your email address and password are access to every single computer application that you own, that you have. You have a different one for your email. You have a different one for your applications. You have a different one for your computer itself. Don't give that away.
So for the uninitiated, that's their job. This is what these people do. They go out and they go phishing.
It's called phishing, P-H-I-S-H.
And they're going to go out and they're going to grab your stuff and they're going to make your life miserable.
They might send 5 million emails a day. And if they get 50 or 100 people to respond, they're in business.
And they steal your money as fast as...
Steal it. I have clients call me when it's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So in today's environment, people can buy computers in a lot of places. Do people buy computers and really not know what they're buying, and they're just looking at the computer as X dollars, so it's got to be good, and then they wind up with the computer without the stuff being in it?
All the time. So, you know, the computer manufacturers have some guilt in this too. The way now that they phrase what the speed the processor is, you know, up to 4.7 gigahertz. Yeah, but it's 1.3. It's not 4.7, it's a 1.3, and it can get, in turbo mode, can get up to 4.7. You don't even want to walk that path because that's just not accurate. So most people don't understand what it is they want to get, and for our clients, we'll tell them. And that should be the first important thing that you do, is select the right platform. Once you get the platform and it's set up correctly, you're home free.
So people have to have a confidence, somebody they can talk to. This is what I'm trying to get done. I just don't want a computer. I really want to get this done over here. What's the best device to get there?
I need a conversation. I can't answer that question blanketly because there's so many variables in it. But if someone calls us on the phone and wants us to do something for them, we'll talk to them.
So how do people choose between Mac and PC? What are the primary differences?
They're major. A Windows PC is very problematic. A Mac PC works. However, a Mac PC is probably 1.5 times more expensive maybe a little more than that, than a comparable Windows computer. But then you have one company, Apple, making the platform, the operating system, and many of the applications that run in it.
And the problem with that is?
It's a good thing. It's because they know what's going to work and what isn't. On the other side of that, when you run a Windows computer, the only thing Windows in that is the operating system. Every other application you have to load independently and hope that in a Windows update it doesn't disrupt some of them, if I can put it in such gentle terms.
So we run a pretty good website. And when they call it a widget, what do they call when you update it? So whenever we add something new, I know there's going to be a problem. It's just a matter of, because it's going to be out of sync with the other 20 applications that we have in there. And so we're hesitant in adding new stuff, even if we need it, because I know what is about to happen. And all that stuff goes.
That's not unreasonable to anticipate. It's just the nature of running a Windows computer. Now, we had a horrible thing occur with StrikeCrowd, who is a very high-end security company. It's like antivirus time on steroids. And they covered some major corporations, including the airlines and car rentals and Tesla's group. And they did an update which shut them down. It shut those computers down and put many of them into the BSOD, the blue screen of death mode. I mean, some serious stuff. We know how to get out of that. We can fix that problem. But my point is that these guys in an update disabled.
Okay. So what about that, where people are concerned about their computer, if it gets stolen or the kids, something happens, it goes in the pool or it catches on fire? What should people do to secure their content?
They should back it up. So this is a very important question. And if I can give advice, it's get a backup for your computer. Whether you're backing up to the cloud or not, or whether you're backing up to an external hard drive, you must back it up, because one day that computer is going to die. Mac, Windows, at a certain point it's going to die. And if your stuff's still in it, you didn't get it out, you're in trouble. So what you do is you use a backup drive, and we set up a process where it does it automatically for you, and you just let it go.
And where does it go?
Well, the backup drive would be physically connected to the computer.
Okay.
Your other option is to use cloud, but I don't want to make this a boring discussion, but I'll give you some insight. What most people don't realize is that whatever you put in the cloud is also stored on your computer. So if you have a 500 gig hard drive, you have 60 gigs left, you're going, wait a minute, I moved all that stuff to the cloud. Yeah, but the cloud also reserves that spot on your hard drive. So it's taking up a lot of room. If you have a big enough drive, it doesn't matter. But that compared to a backup drive that's physically connected makes that irrelevant. When you back it up to that backup drive, it's not putting it back on your computer.
You're saying when people put it in the cloud, it sends it back?
It reserves the same disk space on that computer, which is not usable.
And why is that?
Because you're going to access it. They set it up that way so that you can access it immediately, and it's there.
Oh. Those
files are immediately there. You're
not
so
even though it's stored over there, you got to leave the bedroom empty.
Yeah.
Because you're already using it, but the guest hasn't arrived.
Yes, because they know you're going to use it.
Yeah. So you wind up paying for a lot more space.
That means that if you're going to use cloud storage, and I use cloud, I use physical backup with a backup drive on all my computers, no exception. And it does it automatically, no exception. And then I use the cloud for some of the stuff that I want to store. But I have big enough drives. I buy a terabyte, which is not crazy large. It's a good sized drive. And I've got plenty of space left.
So for the young people that might be seeing this, I clearly remember the first time we bought a multi-user computer.
That means more than one person could use it?
Yes. Yeah. So we had different screens coming off of one drive, and we increased the hard drive. I remember it clearly, from 5 megabytes to 10.
Wow.
And it was $1,195. I said, but we have a multi-user computer. So we could have 5 people that were writers operating off of one thing. So today for $1,200, for $1,195, people could get a decent PC.
A good PC. For $1,200, a good Windows PC.
Okay, so do you do any work on websites?
No, but I have friends and associates who are excellent, who does mine.
Okay. It was sort of like you go to your dentist, say, you're a good dentist, but who do you go to?
Right,
That's who I want to go to.
Right. I understand. These areas are so sometimes technically deep that if a guy tells you he fixes computers and he does websites and he wants to, give you search engine optimization so that you're found on Google easier, look out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look out. I mean,
yeah. Because it's specialized. Now, you've been an active member of the Greater Kendall Business Association, and that's out Kendall, Greater Kendall. So tell us about the organization and some of the things that are happening.
It's a great organization. After COVID, they had problems like all the other ones did because people couldn't meet anymore. They'd have Zoom meetings, and their party got smaller. So they're back in business again, and they primarily do 3 events a month, 2 breakfasts, 2 weeks apart, with interesting speakers, and then an after-hours event. And I find them to be wonderful because they claim, and a lot of people claim a lot of things, they claim that they're the friendliest place to do business. Well, when you go to many of these business clubs or groups, they're groups, some people interact easily and some don't. And the Greater Kendall group, the principals go around, they introduce you to these other people, and they actually promote an environment where you're talking to people that otherwise, if you were in a different setting, you may not have done.
And I've seen that in action, even when they say the friendliest place to do business, that it's uplifting.
Yes.
And it reminds you, oh yeah, put a smile on your face.
Yes. That you can feel the energy when you're going to an event of the GKBA. You can really feel that energy, and so can everybody else in the room.
So they have a morning event, and they have
2 mornings.
Two morning events,
2 weeks apart. It's early. It's like 7:15.
Okay, and then the other one is an
after hours, which will be probably between 6 and 8 at different locations.
So maybe you can't make the evening, but you can make the mornings. Mornings are 7:30 to
7:15.
7:15 to 9ish. So
I think, yeah.
All right, and you can go to work, and everybody's happy.
Right.
And then on the way home, you can stop off. And I went to 1 or 2 recently, and it was like wonderful. It was there, and it's like perfect. People very happy, they're welcoming. So my hats off to the organization for the people that are there.
I'm glad to be a participant.
Bob Feltman, thank you very much for being here.